Are you pointing to me to start it, or
No, I was just putting some
dancing?
stank on it. Yeah.
All right, I like it. Welcome to Quorators, the podcast where we try to figure out what Quora is.
Welcome. Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, it's pretty good. Sunday night. The night is the time where I feel most alive. And that kind of brings us on to our most recent guest we have here this week. Doesn't it? Doesn't that bring us on down? Also, I'm Alex and this is Jeremy.
How's it going?
Hey.
Yeah.
What the hell's up?
You don't throw that transition in the trash there. Keep it going.
Well, you know who else is alive at night? Creatures of the night. New Yorkers, for one. And we have a very special guest all the way down from Saturday Night Live, another nightly program along with Quorators, the show where we read Quoras. And that is James Austin Johnson down in the studio. How the hell are you, James?
Hey, Alex. Hey, Jeremy. It's so great to be zooming in to this podcast.
I love it. I love your chair.
Thank you. Yeah, you can see my chair from the Zoom.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like you got on.
Can you hear me?
Stay away from my Zoom.
Is my laptop
This is my Zoom.
Your kitchen is beautiful. I've never been here before, and I can tell that there's a lot of love in here.
Oh, thank you. That's all me. James,
Yes.
we have a wonderful show for you here today. What we do every week, each and every week, Jeremy and I, we go on Quora.com. Have you ever been on there?
Quora.com. Now, as I understand it, Quora.com is where teenagers go to ask questions that, because of our sort of crumbling social infrastructure, they don't have the skills, the social skills to ask an adult.
Yeah.
You know, there are no strong adult role models anymore. There are no fathers. And so these kids, they Google, what is tits?
Yeah.
How do I have sex? Where do we go when we die? Why did Jim leave Karen on The Office?
Why did Jim leave Karen on The Office? Yeah, I think you're connecting correctly that it is a website for fathers.
Yeah, it's a website for fathers, right? And that's why you had me on, right? Because I'm a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one day I'll have a teenage boy, Homer, my son.
You're kind of like the go-to patriarch in my life.
You're right, Alex. I have strong parental energy.
It's in the glasses.
It's in the glasses. It's in the whiskey glasses.
Hello.
Because I think a strong father has a little glass of whiskey at, after 9 p.m., the son or daughter wakes up from the nightmare, comes downstairs, daddy, clink, 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 a little glass of whiskey, his Flaubert, his Moliere, whatever he's reading that night, Balzac, Voltaire.
Papa, the demons. I have something that takes care of the demons, and it's here in my little glass.
Why don't you sit down on my plush leather couch? You're in my study.
That's a
I'll fix you up a tumbler. You ever have something out of a tumbler, Jesse? Gender neutral name. Could be a boy or girl. You ever have something out of a tumbler, Jesse? I've got square ice.
And that's what Quora is. That's what the vibe of Quora.com is.
Yeah,
Dada, why did Jim leave Karen? I'll tell you. Clink, clink, clink. That's what Quora is. Quora is it's employed exclusively by fathers.
Fancy men.
Yeah, and employs fathers, as I understand it,
Sure
right?
it does.
And yeah, I think they do. We have no idea how the website works and are less sure every week we use it.
Father-focused company.
But there are a lot of fathers on there, and there's a lot of advertising, which I presume is Sterling Draper Price Mad Men style fathers.
Sure.
You mean within the answers, there's someone who is like psyoping you into buying a sprinkler or whatever?
No,
Yeah, it'll
they
be like
do
that kind of.
advertisements in the form of questions, and it's like half of the website, and it seems like a website that's like primarily for marketing people.
They'll
When should I
disguise it.
refinance my mortgage?
Yeah, basically.
kind of shit.
Like, what's the best kind of pants?
Yeah,
and then it'll be like, Kohl's.
Easy.
Is there any way to make cash quick? It's a damn shame.
Can I sell my house to shady third world scammers?
Was Shady Records 30 seconds from the towers? Hey, Bush, you missed? Well, that's a natural segue into the beginning segment we have of the show. We have one segment of the show. Isn't that right, Jeremy?
It is. Yeah, we have one segment. We ask a Quora at the end of every episode, and then we see if anyone answered it. And we did this. We recorded this episode, 1 day ago?
The answer is 2 days ago.
Okay, so no one has answered our question from last week.
God damn it.
Can I ask what the question is?
Yes, it is. Out of all animals alive today, which is closest to the dinosaur? We tried to ask a simple question to see if we could bait people
Isn't the answer the bird?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we were going, because I had we talked about punching geese for like 20 minutes. I just edited it today. It's a long conversation.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, we're hoping to organically get that feedback from the Quora community, from fathers, from children. And we'll just have to wait a few days and see if that pops on up. But in the meantime, we will be circling back at the end of the episode to write a Quora based on what we've learned here today, and here in the website. And so I guess in that case, let the games begin.
Okay, we found a bunch of parenting Quoras for you.
Okay, great.
So these.
What's the name of the section, Jeremy?
Quaranting. It's so long. It's delay every time.
I'm honestly honored that you asked me as a guest on this show, and the tag that you put with me is father, is parenting. Yeah. I'm really flattered because I go on a lot of stuff because someone saw a Trump video, or Bob Dylan impression thing, or something like that.
We don't even know who those guys are.
And neither do I. And neither do I.
You do an incredible impersonation of them. That's unbelievable.
You see a video, you fart it out. What I do is worthless and stupid.
Right.
And the masses lick it up. Mm-hmm. And I'm over here farting away in my dressing room going, it's almost too easy, counting a big stack of single dollar bills.
Yeah. Which they pay you in, I imagine.
They pay me in single dollar bills at my request. I had an Eric Adams style contract where I got to pick what kind of denomination I get my money in.
That's a better choice than the one he made. Which depreciated sharply in value right after.
He did Bitcoin.
Eric Adams, so everyone is another joke, asked to be paid in Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin became like worth a third of what it was when he He's a dumb man, and he's the mayor of New York City.
Hey, cut that out.
And we're cutting that out in post. Alex,
no, you don't have to cut that out in post, but cut it out. But have some respect for these people who they wake up every day and they put on a suit. And they drive to New York where they represent people there.
And James, this is why we're having you answer the parenting questions, because you're kind of the voice of moral guidance that we're missing on the show. Andrew Durso could not answer these.
I'm the moral voice in a lot of the spaces in which I reside.
So I have not read these questions.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't stumble into any weird fetish stuff.
Yeah, all right.
There's no way we would do that. That's not what we do here.
So question number 1, would dragging my 6-year-old son to the supermarket in his underwear teach him a lesson, leave any psychological sequelae? Which I'm not sure if that's a word or if I'm dumb.
Sequelae? How's it spelled?
It is spelled Sequelae.
Sequelae?
Sequelae.
Sequelae, that would be a Latin word.
Is it actually?
A French parent.
Because I would believe it.
Sequelae.
You could convince me if you say it like that.
Would sound, it might even be sequelae.
My brain just filled in the word scars, like emotional scars. Like, would it be scarring to have my child do this?
I've looked it up. It is a condition which is the consequence of a previous disease or injury.
What? It's a real word?
It's a real word.
It's not just Quora gibberish?
So
are you kidding me?
You are some sort of law student who has studied Latin recently. You've got a pantsless child that you want to rip into a grocery store. What kind of lesson are you trying to teach the child about, is it okay to to punish my child by bringing him almost naked to the grocery store.
There's no further context, by the way.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm calling it now, and we're not going to get any more context. That's not how the website works.
It doesn't exist.
You got a little kid doesn't want to wear pants all the time. You say, you think pants are so bad? Why don't you go to the store without pants?
I don't like this.
Why don't you go
No
to the
one
store
would
without
care.
pants?
No one would be like...
I'm just putting myself in the perps mindset because I have them in my sights right now.
This is going to be tough for me because I feel like I do have a self-righteousness thing that comes from leaving, Western Christianity, Americanized Christianity. I left that after participating in it and for like 22 years and heavily. And so now I still have a little bit of a like Judeo-Christian little Mike Pence sitting on a throne in my head who occasionally tries to guide my actions.
Sure.
And I really have to monitor what his input is because sometimes he's like, well, let's not lie all the time about little things, let's not misrepresent the truth to say our wife.
Sure.
Let's not lie about did the baby brush his teeth during the bath tonight because you forgot and she put toothpaste on the toothbrush. And so you rubbed off the toothpaste after you were already drying him. So that if she
As a
saw
hypothetical.
it just as a hypetical, the Mike Pence in my head goes, don't lie to people. But then there's also a Mike Pence sometimes.
Several Mike Pences.
There's another Mike Pence sometimes who wants me to do things that are frankly too conservative for the world's good. And sometimes I have this like self-righteous streak. I was walking around Target and I saw a bad dad. Like a tantrum 3-year-old. And then the dad.
No pants.
The dad, no, he had pants on, but he was like, the 3-year-old, 4-year-old was going, I hate you. I never want to see you again.
Damn.
The dad lost his fucking cool, like picked up the kid's toy, threw it down the aisle where it shattered. The kid is screaming. Dad like grabs the kid roughly. Let's go. And me and my wife are watching it. She's like she's learning to be a child counselor. So she's like seeing a client in 18 years. She's like, I'm going to talk to this guy in his mid-20s and like help him reverse his like scarring about, going to Target with his now wife. So I followed this guy a little bit around the store waiting to see if there was another infraction. I was in like, there's another.
What were you going to do about it?
Exactly.
Again.
But there is, I think a little bit, there is like when you're a father, you have these weird little Indiana politician men who pop up in your head and they're trying to guide you. They're trying to make you guide the country back on track.
So you could not have been in New York for that long because all of my instincts are get away from the screaming man.
I know that is the correct
everywhere.
instinct. The correct instinct is save yourself, disappear.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do about this kid.
The boy is lost.
The boy is lost.
It's nice now that like you have a kid, you can judge other parents because I feel like I don't have a kid. If I would be like, well, that's not a good dad, I'd be like, well, what do you fucking know? But you have a kid, so you can be like definitively, you suck at this.
Having a child makes you so judgmental over everyone's behaviors and actions, and you didn't even do anything. You popped in your wife. That's all you did.
Nice.
You didn't even do anything to become, but in your head you are Ozymandias. You know what I mean? Like in your head you've become this like this moral force. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to tell one person how to live correctly, trying to save them from making mistakes, and it's just funny how it does make you like a little crazy. So I'm just like hearing this Quora just makes me want to punch this guy because I'm like, you want to humiliate your kid like you're some dom to like a pay pig or something and like a sex dungeon or something like that.
He's asking. He debated. He could still not do it in time.
Oh my gosh. Where do you live that's so casual that you're going to rip a naked person into a store? What is this, San Francisco?
Oh, hey, we can't say that on here. It's not that kind of show.
I don't know what lesson this kid is learning, though. I just feel like a 6-year-old would be like, yeah, that's great. I won.
So it's again the I don't like pants or the opposite lesson. Oh, you like pants so much? Well, this is what happens when you cross me. Now you don't have them.
Sure, yeah, it's a punishment.
Yeah. Or maybe the kid did too well and he was like, let's see how well he does without pants. Add a handicap.
Right.
He crushes it too much at the grocery store.
He finds all his objects.
Everyone's smiling. He finds all the objects quickly.
Making small talk with the
Take him down a
cashier.
notch.
Yeah, and they're like, all right.
How well will you do with no pants? Everyone's going to be asking, where's your pants?
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, let's see how mad he made the entire forum.
Okay, Tamara Jones, whose job is horror movies are my favorite, I'm good at remembering faces and names, says, hell yes. One of my sisters did this to my nephew when he was around that age. She made him strip naked in a laundromat, yelling and screaming at him, and she bought everything he wore, and that was taking it back. I don't know what any of that means.
And that was taking it back.
My youngest sister called me and the second older sister, there were 4 of us, and told us that our sister made her son walk home like that. The second eldest sister and I left. This is
You
too
gotta
many
really,
sisters.
it's like a
Combine
riddle.
some of these characters.
The doctor was a woman.
My nephew never forgot that incident, and he never forgave his mother either.
Yeah.
Even now, and he's in his 20s, he wears extra clothes no matter the weather.
He's
He
become
cannot
kind of
stand
a
his mother.
clothes Grinch.
Yeah, it's frustrating as a father because especially one who's like married to a person who reads child counseling books constantly and trauma books constantly. But like you're actually not succeeding at teaching any lessons. You're just traumatizing your child into a warped, like you're diminishing them to your own level. It's like, this kid has too much limitless potential. Let me crush him down into the gnarled cube that I've become.
Yeah, I think the classics were correct about lesson teaching and that it isn't done through brute force or real life examples. What you want to do is a series of parables. Set sheep on various adventures. And
What if
then
there
have
was a
them learn
young
from that.
gopher who didn't wear his pants to the grocery store?
What if the gopher thought he was too good for pants at the store? Well, it looks like he had a hard time.
Usually they have like a dark ending though. You're like, he wasn't wearing pants, and
So
then he was
they
hit by a car.
They skinned him and ate him there at the counter. He was a gopher after all. It's fine.
And then the song of the frogs was heard through the hills. Oh, I love songs by cute frogs. No, the song of the frogs in this Greek myth is a terrifying thing.
From what you would know in your life as a Greek peasant, you'd be very scared of the
You'd be very scared of the song of frogs. It has some meaning about death or something.
The harvest isn't coming because of the frogs.
Well, you've never seen like a horror movie, so if you hear the song of the frog, you're like, that's the scariest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's true.
Low key, I'm scared of frogs. Okay. I got a million parenting questions.
Okay.
Let's do another one.
Okay. This one is kind of nasty.
He's the only father I know.
Yeah, am I going to react really negatively to all these? Am I just going to be hearing about a man that I want to clobber?
Let's find out.
This one is not that one, but it is. I found my son's stuffed animals, and he had it. That he had as a young child with holes in them. He is 13 and was doing things to them because I found hard spots on them with the stuffing out. What should I do?
Killing spree.
This sounds like a normal, natural kind of thing.
Yeah.
At least he's humping objects and not,
Yeah.
These are teen questions. How's this feel? This is taking you out of your element.
Teen question. Yeah, I don't have a 13-year-old. I have a 1-year-old.
Right. Yeah, there's almost zero chance he's railing out a teddy bear.
Okay, so when he's 13, I'll be 46. Mm-hmm. So I won't have to think about a teddy bear having a hard spot for 13 more, 12 more
12
years.
more years, that's right.
And I'll be in my mid-40s.
Yeah. It'll be like a stuffed Mario toy or something.
Yeah, it'll be like a Shy Guy or, well, what would I guess I'll put myself there. What would I do that to?
Well, it depends on your demeanor at the time. Are you warm and jolly like Santa, or have you been brought cold and low by life's many tortures?
At 46?
Yeah.
Well, if it goes like things are going now, I might be generally content and,
Ho ho! That's a hard bear.
yeah, I think I might.
Somebody's having a little too much fun.
Yeah, the key, what I know about dealing with like kids and like the whole like what is sex, what are privates is you're supposed to be very casual and never laugh about something. Like if my son is like flicking his like little tiny pee-pee in the bath, which he only checks it in the bath because he's got a diaper on all the rest of the time. But like in the bath, it's like, oh, I see my penis.
Yeah.
It is the time of night that I see it. And he just is checking it out. He's just like, what does this do? And my wife is always like, don't giggle. Don't make weird comments.
Right.
You're supposed to passively observe my child explore his own body.
Do you encourage him, or are you supposed to be like,
No,
you rock?
I just gotta go. No, it's totally normal to just like.
Right. You don't want to give him shame.
You don't want to give him shame, and you don't
When
want to
I
make
was
him
a
feel
kid-
weird about his body.
When I was
Looks
a kid,
like we both have normal penises. Another great shower.
Well, I'm clothed. I'm clothed. He's in his tub.
When I was a little kid, my babysitter like got freaked out because when I was like 2 or 3, apparently I gave her a cream and said I have to put this cream on my scrotum, and my babysitter thought it was weird that I knew the word for that.
Well, you were a doctor at the time. You're a precocious New York boy.
It's also really funny how old and mature babysitters seem when we're kids.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you find out most of them were like 19 or whatever.
Yeah, younger.
If
even.
that.
Younger.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, and it's like, why you should, and kids are like, oh, I should ask this babysitter. They're an adult. I should
Yeah,
ask them
right,
any
right.
kind of question. You're
Right.
asking a teenager.
Yeah.
Their input is not going to be helpful in any way. It's not going to be additive.
I'm thinking about fighting the boy next door. Let's ask this 14-year-old who's in charge of me and see what she thinks. She says he has it coming. Okay. Well,
I, dude, what should you do about the hard spots? Speak to a child psychologist. Don't be Googling this. Don't
Yeah,
be
for
typing
real.
this into the internet.
can I just say, did nobody else know anybody who did this in middle school? Like, I had friends who were just
had
like,
sex with
I'm
the-
always, and they'd brag about it.
They
Like,
brag about it.
I'm knocking down these bears every night.
Never about a stuffed animal. I'd only ever heard it about like a couch or
Interesting.
something like
A
that.
couch is very
Pillow.
normal. The animal does have a like personal quality to it because it has a
Sure.
face and everything.
Yeah, you've known him your whole life.
In a way where it's like, oh, that's Mr. Buttons. We're very close.
I didn't have a friend who did that, but I had a friend freshman year of high school who said that he learned how to jerk off DJ style and then went like this. And we were like, that doesn't seem like the right way to do it.
That's intense.
Well, women have to go DJ.
Women
style.
always go deep.
That's true.
But you're talking about a man
Yes.
born with male equipment.
Yes.
Doing DJ style.
Yeah, doing DJ style on his own.
I can't imagine that would be effective.
No, I saw on an HBO Real Sex thing when I was in high school that people do that, and it's like
Really?
a extra crazy way to do it.
All right, well, you know what? We're all learning.
Wouldn't that be the worst thing to watch as a teenager? Is some sort of HBO scientific-y?
The internet was not like done yet at the time. Just what I had. I made do
We made do.
with the tools that I was given.
Sure, yeah.
And they said to rub the top like it's a genie coming out of a lamp.
Rubbing the top. Well, kids, you try that at home and write into the
Yeah,
Quora
write in.
editors. and tell
Again,
them
we
how
will
it
not
works.
read those
Do
on
not
the
send
show.
us that email.
Send in other Quora questions. Don't send us your weird sex things. Don't look at me.
I think legally we have to say don't do that now.
No,
Don't do that.
And when I said kids, I meant listeners. Like the
sure.
folksy way that people say. Like when they're addressing an audience.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm gonna say now explicitly, no, please,
That's
no
enough.
one email anything sexual, especially not
Yeah.
younger people. Don't do that.
Not to us.
I think
at
we've
least.
been more than clear about our stance on emails. So, what are they going to do? Is everybody being weird about this? Or
No,
are
everyone's
they
being pretty normal.
being pretty
honestly.
chill?
They say don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Yeah, I would say that this kid's on track.
Yeah.
They're going to figure out the more normal adult way to do that to themselves.
From what I'm understanding, the entire part of your child going through puberty has a lot of like, just pretend you did not see that. Just keep walking.
Throw it in the wash.
Yeah. It's puberty. It's like
If you bring it up, it is going to be a problem for the both of you for the rest of your life.
don't bring it up, man.
Yeah, I don't think I see anyone saying. Some people just give like story. One guy said, "My first masturbation memories were with a stuffed bunny. Glad to know I'm not alone in that." So that's
Okay.
good for that guy.
That's
Patty.
representation.
His name is
Bunny,
Patty O
stuffed
Furniture.
bunny. He even said it in like a Arrested Development style, like in a childish style. He still calls it a bunny.
He still calls it a bunny.
Oh, this guy actually is just a really nasty dude. This guy.
That's a damn shame.
This guy's name is Patty O Furniture, and he's got a picture of himself like one of those like truck guys on Twitter, where it's like half his face, he's got a goatee and like big sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
And,
Patio
uh,
furniture.
Yeah.
His bio on Quora says, "I am a cock and cum lover, but I
Oh,
also
wow.
love shaved pussy."
Oh, I would have guessed something like "Come and Take It, Biden" or something like
Yeah.
that.
Nope,
Come, C-U-M, and take it, Biden.
no, he just loves cum.
Okay.
He
Respect.
just loves the stuff.
All right. You said big sunglasses and goatee. I went to a judgmental place. See, that's what That's
You
what
need to
fatherhood
open up.
does.
He's
And
a
he's
lover
got-
first.
He's got a BS in human sexuality and biology from Michigan State University. He graduated in 1993.
So
Okay,
he knows what he's doing.
an interesting man just became extremely boring. Moving on. He majored in sexual
Next.
study. Next.
Get out of here, Patty.
Get out of here, textbook.
Yeah, everyone pretty much just says leave him alone.
Leave him alone. He's just making love to a bear.
Oh, he's just both in a bed, then. It's normal, isn't it?
They're friends. Is that so wrong?
These are all British people, I think. Yeah.
I call him like I see him, baby.
One person does say, go on Amazon, buy him a cheap $12 Ona hole and a bottle of lotion. Tell him
See,
to
this
wash
is
it.
I would not go this far.
No.
I would not go the get your daughter get your son the pocket pussy direction because that makes you
That's
a like
insane.
a partner in crime of what's happening here, and that's
No,
too much.
A father's responsibility, I believe, is to have the talk if it seems like it's the right time to have the talk. But that's it. One talk. They call it the talk, not the talks.
Yeah, no.
It's not the Lyceum series, and it certainly isn't the take your child to a marital aid store.
Don't buy
What's wrong with
anything.
you?
Yeah, not that kind of toys for your children.
Hey, it's not that kind of show.
That's all the answers that are worth reading on that question.
Okay, yeah. These are more question heavy than they are answer heavy. Sometimes we'll have episodes that are just like, look at this freak answer we found.
Yeah.
But these are more worldly prompts.
So these are people that camp out on Quora hoping to answer questions.
Yeah, I mean, this is like their social media. Like some people have like thousands of followers on Quora, and they're like Quora heads.
Oh, God.
Which is our aspiration is to be those people
Yeah,
through our
absolutely.
podcast.
Okay.
We've got, how many followers do we have now?
You
Is that-
have an account.
Well, it's
just
our
ours,
shared
Ptak.
account. I can change it.
You have 17 followers.
That's pretty good
It's
given
pretty big.
the amount of effort I put into this.
You could be a Quora influencer.
Hey, y'all. Check out my link in the Quora bio.
How much money do you think that the Quora influencers are making?
Well,
I
there's
hope they're
Quora
losing
Plus.
money. Yeah, you can pay for Quora Plus. Which gives you
Quora Plus
better
unlocks
questions.
the new questions. Because we'll be reading something, we'll be interested, and it'll be like, we can't read this. We don't have the access.
Yeah, we'll have to start a
Quora
Patreon.
Plus. So just like really cool questions get sent to Quora Plus.
It's like
get plugged
OnlyFans
up.
for questions, is my understanding.
Oh, you subscribe to like an answerer?
Yeah, I think it's per person.
Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I have
right.
strong hunches.
We can look it up. I'm going to look it up.
When the Patreon launches, we'll be on Quora Plus,
Sure.
provided it's not really expensive for some reason, which I'm guessing it won't be,
Plus.
right?
Support great writing and browse ad-free.
Great writing.
Subscribers enjoy guaranteed access to millions of answers. They cut off answers. If an answer is too good, they say this is behind a paywall.
The normal website guarantees access to millions of answers.
Not the good ones.
Is that why they're all like this?
So you guys are groundlings. You guys are people lurking outside of
Yeah.
the great theater.
Yeah.
Just toiling in the mud,
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to raise my son.
So the unpaid Quora website is like you're talking to guys who are sitting in the backs of their pickup trucks outside the
Yeah.
arena listening to
Fish concert
listening
or
to the
whatever.
Fish concert.
We're tailgating the fish concert of
Sucking
knowledge.
on balloons and then answering questions about should I rip my son from his bed to the grocery store.
If my son is in the bed, is that a good time to rip him?
It's a good impression of a helium balloon.
Thank you. I've been around such people in my tracks.
Oh, God.
You want to read this
There,
question?
I see him, I say there, but for the grace of God go I.
Show me more.
Okay, this was sent in by Brandon Ross. That's the classic Brandon sound.
Every time you're on, Brandon, you're getting that tiger.
Today I took my 13-year-old son to a restaurant, but since he tried to order himself, I didn't get him anything, and he ate everything myself. And I ate everything myself. Since he needs to learn to respect his parents, was this a good move?
This is like
No.
how you train a...
Jesus.
This is like, am I the asshole? But like, it's not even.
I ate my son's food. It made him watch. Am I bad?
because he ordered for himself and not
Yeah,
letting the dad order for him?
I guess.
You gotta
yeah.
let
My
the
son was
dad
being
order.
strong and independent, so I projected my insecurity upon him. And then I felt here's your answer, pal. You went on Quora to ask about your own parenting.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
It's too late for you.
It's too late. You don't know what you're doing. And you admitted it to the internet by being like, is this bad? Call your own father. Oh, you have a terrible relationship with him? Why'd you have a kid?
He was always eating my food. He'd make me order it and then he would eat it. I hated restaurants until I was 35. This is how you raise a dog. They do tell you to do that for dogs. Is the
Don't let
dogs
your
have to
dog order food
when
at the
you give
restaurant?
dogs food, you're supposed to eat it first so that they know that they don't disrespect you like that at a restaurant.
You're supposed to eat the dog food from the bowl first.
Yeah, you're supposed to if it's dog food, obviously it's fake taking a bite or whatever, or you make them watch you eat and then you give them their food. But if it's like eggs or something, and you're like, yeah, you can have some eggs, you're like, oh, and then you give them some.
Okay.
So that's
part of the pack leader mentality.
It's actually kinder than the way they're treating this boy who does not get to have any. He's just watching the dad eat all of his food.
The dad getting so mad because the child is ordering from the waiter. He doesn't interrupt the waiter in the child's discourse to be like, actually, no. You're having the kid's mac and cheese, not a full ribeye.
The best part of this question, I think, is the waiter was fully thrust into this situation of just like, are you ordering for me right now? You don't bring that to him. You bring that to me, and he watches me eat, and you're an accomplice in this now.
Why didn't the father address it in the moment? He moves immediately. He's like silent while the waiter's there, steaming, watching them talk to each other. And then he's like, I'm going to lay the hammer down later.
But the kid did order it, right? So I guess he had to go to the waiter and be like, don't give him that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was an accomplice
Just
involved.
a heads up that didn't count.
He was on Quora writing the post as it was happening.
Okay.
You're lucky I let you keep your pants on for this.
Oh, jeez. Unsurprisingly, all the answers here are just people being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, your child is 13. I believe that is old enough to order for yourself. Yeah. It's not a matter of disrespect. It's a matter of independence.
I gotta say, these are the most well-rounded Quora responses we have gotten on any episode of the show to date.
We could do some sillier ones.
Sillier answers?
Here's the thing, though, that I think a lot of the parenting stuff, we all have a pretty good instinct about what you're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
And when you meet these people who do stuff like so blindly and callously inhumane and unreasonable, you do worry about the state of the republic. You really do. Because you're like, it shouldn't be this hard to raise a child. I guess when they're 13, all of these guys who are making terrible decisions, they have 13-year-olds, it sounds like.
Right.
So it's like, I guess when they're going through puberty, you just
lose it.
You're losing it. You're fully bald at that point, and you're losing it.
They have so many hormones, you feel like you have to bring your level up to match their level, and then you start acting irrationally.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mirrored behaviors.
Or it's as men age, they start generating more like estrogen and less testosterone or something. Or like
that's true.
Their hair's like falling out. Their own hormonal imbalances are starting to make them act out,
They behave more like an ice queen.
Yeah, and the cultural pressure that comes along with knowing that their body is changing, that their hormones are changing.
Oh yeah, no,
they lash out in ultra masculine ways, trying to recapture what they were like when they were.
It's a second puberty.
It's a second puberty, also for the dads.
Yeah.
Am I still hard like Vin Diesel? What would he do? He'd probably make the boy watch him eat.
Vin Diesel.
This time, you watch me eat.
It's a solid Vin Diesel.
Thanks. Generic rough guy.
Let me try Vin Diesel real quick.
My name's Don Toretto. I'll have a spaghetti. I'll have the mama's home style bolognese.
He doesn't look like he's falling asleep.
Yeah,
like always.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's a good contrast because he's always in high octane situations.
Yeah, that's why he's so good at it.
That's what the appeal is.
It levels him out.
What if a sleepy guy was in this action scene?
Yeah. How are we going to outrun this train?
By driving fast.
It's boring to him. That's how crazy he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's boring to him.
Jumping out of a building is just like normal.
For Dom Toretto?
Yeah.
I've seen him do it hundreds of times, honestly. I totally get why he's over it. All right, yeah, pull up the next one, Haas.
Here, I found one. I'm switching up a little bit. This is a
Switch
list
it up,
of
BJ.
This is a list of what are some unwritten social rules everyone should know. So someone wrote 20 unspoken rules for men, and they have a picture of Keanu Reeves, so you know it's for men.
That's what's up.
So number one,
Yeah.
never shake a hand sitting down. Have we read these before, Alex?
We read 10 rules for men, and then we did a list of, I think, what's the next one? Tell me the next one.
Number 2, protect who is behind you and respect who is beside you.
See, I would not be surprised if we read a different 30 rules for men list, because I remember we read a 10 and then a 30, and they just all sound exactly the same.
Let's back up real quick. So this question, what was the question on Quora?
What are some unwritten social rules everyone should know?
Unwritten social rules everyone
should know.
Not specifically for men.
This
I don't think
person-
we've read it.
This person thinks that everyone is a man.
I've been shaking hands sitting down the entire time, so I don't think I've read it yet.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's the big rule in
I
talk
don't
shows,
think
right? They stand up to shake
By the way,
hands.
thank you
Yeah.
for doing the podcast.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
have to
Thank
be
you for
standing
making
to. You have to be. You have to get up. You have to get up a little bit out of the chair, like I just did.
Yeah.
Like,
I
oh,
think I'm
there's
the
a
alpha
bee
now.
Back
Yeah,
here.
you are.
Yep.
I do think I'm the alpha now.
Thank you for having us on your show.
Well, I'm in the most high-backed chair,
It's true.
and I have a weird posture that's that's not.
It's a
sitting straight up.
Godfather's stance.
Yeah, I think so. And I could start doing things like withholding my love and
Don't.
never expressing like a positive, like a compliment, like
Sure,
really keeping compliments to like a once a year sort of schedule.
Oh, the podcast will come to a screeching halt at this rate.
You've been complimenting
I need
it so
more
much.
compliments than that.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
how the
okay.
whole show runs.
You're really tall, handsome guy. I really
Thank
like your
you.
hair.
Wow,
you're
huge.
you're doing a great job at reading
Thanks.
the questions, and
It's so
I know
hard.
that I just met you, but you have like a really welcoming energy, and I love the pearl snap.
I just started this beard. Is that a mistake?
I just started my beard. And
I like your beard.
Well, I'll have to shave it due to
Because
appearing
you have
on
to
television.
have so many faces.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, they don't like you to have facial hair.
What the hell?
They don't want you to because they want to be able to glue the alien mask on you for the alien sketch or something, you know?
Is that or is it
I feel like an alien could have a beard.
Yeah.
That's the one, right?
One time I saw Chris Red had a goatee because he was like shooting something else and he needed to keep the goatee. And they like put makeup his skin tone
The Henry Cavill
all
move.
over it, and you couldn't see the goatee like from far away.
That's
pretty cool.
super
pretty cool.
strange.
Kind of odd.
And it's all because they're so afraid of putting a strong patriarch on television.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and yet they've given me a job, and here I am. I'm not the only father on
Mistake.
SNL.
Who else is a father in SNL?
Mikey Day has an 8-year-old.
Lauren Michaels.
That's
Lauren
true.
Michaels has multiple children.
Yeah,
I think 3, 4. I don't know.
Very fertile.
Lots of the writers have children.
sure. I think Keenan has children.
Keenan has kids.
I could have a child.
We're
at
all
any
Keenan.
moment.
So it's
Children.
me, Keenan, Mikey. Maybe that's it.
Oh, you guys got a bowling league together or something? You do some
Bowling
dad
league.
stuff?
No, their children are much older.
Come
than
on, do some dad stuff.
I did get to bring Homer to the Tonight Show once, and he met Jimmy Fallon and Adam Sandler, and that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Adam Sandler is for fathers
Yeah, he's like a dad.
and for sons.
Oh yeah, and he does his natural speaking tone is the way that he sounds at the end of an Adam Sandler movie when like the heart moment at the end of an Adam
Sure.
Sandler movie. Like his natural speaking tone is how he sounds when he's giving that speech at the end of the movie where he's like, "I've always loved you. I'm never gonna leave your side again. I'm never gonna do that. I'll always be there.
Wow.
When you need your father, I'll be there. And be me if you just let me." That's me trying to do what Adam Sandler sounds like.
yeah, but
He's
he's not doing the 8 Crazy Nights old man voice the entire time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's great to see you, little boy.
I love 8 Crazy Nights, man. That
Yeah.
one was good. I need that on VHS.
You should take him sledding.
One of the important Jewish movies of our country.
It's an important,
important.
film.
Serious Man, 8 Crazy Nights. Those are the two.
And Manhattan.
Yes, Manhattan. by Woody Allen.
By Woody Allen. Don't forget the Wood
Those
Man.
are the 3 Jewish movies.
These films,
Watch them all.
the foundation of our synagogue is based on this.
I love A Serious Man, and even though I was raised in hardcore Christianity, I would say that's one of the best movies about like God and believing in God.
It's a good movie.
And I've always, and I'm just a little religious comment, even though I'm not a Christian anymore. I love especially that movie does really well. The sort of like terrifying indifference of the Jewish opinion of God. You know, that.
Yeah.
I love that the tornado and everything.
Yeah.
All of the God representations in that movie.
The closest I have to a religious cue is the Zen.
Oh yeah, the
bells,
Zen thing.
But
That's cool.
it still reminds you of a higher power, I believe.
Yeah, like Eastern stuff, Buddhism, Zen. You can rope a lot of that into your life and make your life better.
I hear Judaism. I think this sound. Ooh,
Hey, I love them all, man. It's all great.
I love
it's all
them all.
gravy.
All these beautiful.
I celebrate all of them.
It's Mambo number 5 rules with theology.
I
to me.
celebrate religion. You heard it here, folks. I celebrate religion.
Yeah,
You know
look
what
into the camera.
You hear me?
This is a
Heads
perfect,
up, America.
a perfect segue.
If
into
you
some
pray,
other
that's
forums.
okay.
Do you want to read some religious ones? We do have
I
religious.
believe we have those queued up, and that's why we're going right back to the bells. Bam!
You know what I would type into Quora is the current problem my wife and I have,
Okay.
which is, should we raise the child with a whole bunch of Bible stories in its head? And that's the thing that we keep talking about, because it's like, well, he needs to know the Bible stories so he can hang with our families and know
Yeah.
what they're talking about. But
Sure.
we do not go to church.
Are your families doing deep cuts a lot, or are they just like 3 wise men? Bring it back.
No, it mostly happens in church, right? Where they're like, today we're going to be talking today, church. If you pick up your Bibles, church, last week we were looking at Ezekiel. So Ezekiel is a prophet. Ezekiel is a prophet. This is what preachers sound.
I truly have no idea.
Ezekiel's a prophet, and he is cooking meals over dung. Let's look at what the Word of God says. It says Ezekiel. That's what a preacher sounds like.
Yeah. I see. That's such an interesting difference, because as someone who's raised Catholic, I got a lot more like slow, romantic speech to the thing, and thus he became entrapped on the road. Paul, formerly named Saul. This was his moment, and that's why you start falling asleep in the chair. It's like they're begging you to just check out at any moment.
And on that day, he was transfigured. Did you ever hear the word transfigured?
Never in my life. Never in my life.
Evangelical Christianity, they're always assuming that you're just like a complete moron. Like they try to stay away from like big words, and especially Latin and stuff like that. So they're big on like defining things that you already know what they mean. And so Word of God says right here, it says he was met on the road. Now, the word met is the meeting of 2 people. You know what I mean? Like they're always over-explaining everything, and it's like, oh man, I know we're shooting for.
I know, man.
We want the simplest man in here to be able to
fill in time.
enjoy heaven, but
He's waiting for the light.
If you
he's
don't,
waiting for the light.
if you don't know Matt, you may not be ready for the rest of the whole story coming.
Yeah, that's probably
Give me a
true.
Quora. I want to do
Okay.
a Quora real quick.
We have religion.
Throw it at
ones.
'em.
Here's a religious Quora. My cat won't stop clawing and biting me whenever I try to baptize it. Is there a way I can baptize it without making it angry?
You do the sprinkle.
Yeah.
What happened to the sprinkle? You're Catholic. You know about the sprinkle?
Yeah, you just dap them a little bit
You
up.
did a little sprinkle.
Why would you want to baptize your cat?
For
Is that a
babies
thing?
who are shy. I mean, if you're trying to save the cat, it is.
I
Do
mean,
cats go-
the only Save the Cat I know is helping me get success in
Sure,
Hollywood.
yeah,
Hollywood
page
talk.
20 or whatever.
Well, listen.
That's too late.
With your cats also suffer from the generational mischance of original sin.
That's true.
When Eve took the snake's bait and bit into that apple forever.
That fucked cats over also?
That fucked cats over as well.
I am telling Jeremy about this literally every week on this show, and he
You're
just
constantly telling
will
me about
not listen.
Christianity.
He won't let me baptize him.
You don't want to be baptized by
Look, if it's a Patreon goal, I'll do it.
We'll
You
just
can
do the
baptize
sprinkle.
me.
We don't have to dunk you.
Well, Alex, you would have to be ordained in some kind of church.
Get you in like a robe or something.
That's a Patreon goal. I have such a hard time coming up with these goals, and I think ordain
Baptize
Alex
Jeremy.
to baptize Jeremy for a
worth a lot of
reasonable
money.
amount.
I would contribute toward your ordination.
Jeremy's first Patreon idea was summon the devil.
No.
See, that's what I said.
I don't want to do that. Leave the devil alone because that guy is busy and
And he's bad news, too.
bad
I don't know if
news.
you've heard of
I
that.
didn't realize how much you really believe in demons.
I mean, I to the extent where I was like, I don't believe in demons, but until we actively try to summon the devil, and then I feel like you're asking for
My
it.
Catholic wife also was upset that I suggested this.
Everyone is upset that you're suggesting
I didn't
it.
know it was a thing.
And yet you will not yield. Not until this baptism, anyway. Is the baptism goal before the devil goal? Let's find out.
yeah, we'll figure it
I
out.
can't wait to figure this out.
if I were meeting with the devil, I would hope that I were baptized. I would want
Sure.
some sort of sanctifying
Layer
Christological magic
Yeah.
or something, you know.
something you can be like, don't touch me, I'm baptized. Something you can hark back to.
But that's like already like setting a boundary. Like, what if I meet the devil and he's like, I'm open with him, and he's kind of like, this guy gets me.
No, the devil
You're
would
a
be
straight shooter. I just feel like we really connect.
Yeah, exactly.
I like your devil voice. He's like
Oh, thanks for getting me out of there. I'm so lonely all the time.
And no one asked him on a podcast except for me.
That place is hell. Thanks for inviting me up here, partner.
He's like a little clever, the devil.
Yeah, he's a little punny.
I run out of content all the time.
I actually wrote on Gilmore Girls from seasons 3 to 8. I stayed on through that whole Palladino fiasco.
Not the worst person in Hollywood, let me tell you.
They get a lot worse. They get a lot
I have
worse.
seen some stuff. This is coming from a guy who. This is coming from a guy who bought Bryan Singer's hot tub. So,
Oh, jeez. Well, he is the devil.
Yeah, he's the devil. He would own that in his Hall of Despicable Objects.
He could
He's
borrow
got
the
a lot of
money from a
stories.
money demon. About this cat,
Okay,
and this
yeah.
is something you run into on Quora. This question does sound like a goddamn joke.
I-
Somebody's making a goddamn
think it
joke
is?
on here. Because cats famously, I don't know
hate
if you know
water.
this,
They don't
want to be baptized.
No, and they hate religion.
Yeah, this feels like something like a Kathy cartoon or something like that. This is like a one-panel Sunday funny.
I
Does
do
it
like
end
the
in
idea-
ack? Is ack anywhere in the question?
It does say ack at the end.
Is this a close to home or something? Is this a Far Side where like the subtitle is like Mittens didn't want to be baptized? It turned out.
But do you think that like they read that and then we're like, the guys at Quora are gonna love this one?
Yeah, this is
me
directly ripped from a
translate
Get
this.
Fuzzy.
It would be really funny though to type into Quora stuff that is like
It's from a comic
clearly
strip.
from like a comic strip. Like my dog only wants to sleep on top of his doghouse.
My friend keeps pulling the football from me as I try to kick it. Am I the asshole?
No, he's the asshole.
Some people say my family's a bit of a circus, but I don't know. I just think they're the most boringly unfunny group of people of all time.
No one understands my cow tools.
Yeah. Should my friend Doonesbury continue to be wry about politics?
Yeah, so most people are just like giving advice on this. Cats are sometimes baptized the way infants are by sprinkling drops of water
With
over
the
them.
sprinkle.
Infant sprinkle.
Didn't the
Bam.
Pope get into trouble for saying that pets go to heaven or something? Wasn't that a controversy?
Yeah, I believe that was. He got in trouble for saying pets could go to heaven, and then also like, oh, we're taking back the gay stuff. And everyone was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Cats can go to heaven?
Sneak one liberal pope in here. Yeah, you just cannot get off as a pope unless you're a young pope with great determination.
Sure,
And
yeah,
that's
I've
what the
heard
show
of
was
that.
about. Yeah,
I've heard of that. And I've seen the two popes where there were two of them.
See, that's a situation you hope never arises.
It did arise.
There
I
should
saw a whole
be
movie about it.
just one. There should be one at a time.
There were two of them. It was a huge controversy.
It's confusing for the family of the church if there's two popes.
It is not appropriate to baptize a cat or try to force any religious practice on an animal.
Okay, all right.
So this person's against it. Cats, like all animals, are not capable of understanding or consenting to religious rituals and should not be subjected to them.
He gets it.
I feel like he would get it. You have
Waffles
a cat.
is up there, I think.
Would
Yeah.
you baptize your cat?
No, he's a bad guy.
What religion do you think your cat would be were they personified?
I wouldn't go right to like Wiccan. See, there's no way I can like name a religion without it sounding bad.
No, I think your cat Waffles is
My
an
cat is
edgy-
Jewish. He's
So could he be like a casual pagan, like a funky bookstore pagan, where you're not actually Wiccan, you're just sort of like culturally appropriating druid kind of stuff, sort of seasonally, like when the mood strikes you, like, oh, we're having a solstice thing.
Yeah.
It's like, great. That's so interesting that you do that.
Are you coming to Friendsgiving?
Friendsgiving is Wiccan?
It is. That's how messed up cats are, y'all.
Having a potluck is appropriative.
I think at the very least, Friendsgiving is deist, is spiritualist.
Friends are the work of the devil. Distracts from the family.
I think Waffles would be like an edgy atheist.
Well, the thing is, the first thing I think of him is like, this is a criminal.
Because he like hits me a lot.
Yeah. Well, the thing about him is he's either like a lapsed faith of something, like he's like a former Christian and now he's like given way to sin, or
How
just
old is
like
Waffles?
I wasn't raised right. I didn't learn my lessons. Waffles is 10.
Waffles is 10
He's
years
a big
old.
boy.
He's on Reddit and he's yelling at people in the like r/debate me.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's what I think.
He has a heart of gold. He just doesn't. He wasn't raised right because I raised him. Yeah.
He won't let him order food.
Yeah. I made him take his pants off, and he's actually never had the pants back on since. That's just what he looks like now.
Jehovah's Witnesses. If you died today, are you 100% sure that you will make it to heaven?
And the question is based on the fact that what I understand of the Jehovah's Witness faith, there is like an elect of 144,000
Right.
that
Not
will
a lot of
be
people.
with God.
Very
It's
exclusive.
a slim
Yeah.
amount.
Can you get bumped out once you're in there?
I would hope not.
Like, there's got to be like
There's got to be
power
a number.
creep.
How many people are there already? Like, what percent of them are full?
It's
If they tell you, it's going to make less people join, so I don't think you're like allowed to know.
it's a fairly young church.
Right.
Sure.
So that means a
as I
lot of
understand
slots
it.
open.
Um,
You could get in there.
Me?
Yeah.
Patreon goal, dude. Jeremy goes to Jehovah's Witness heaven.
After using the works of the devil, Lucifer, the morning star, Jeremy's new powers were turned towards getting one of those slots in the Jehovah's Witness pool.
I was hoping that the Jehovah's Witnesses would have a cool Americana sounding founder name.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these
Sure,
faiths
yeah.
have like a founder's name that
Like Joseph Smith or
is
something. Yeah.
cool. Charles Taze Russell.
Ooh, Taze is kind of interesting.
Charles Taze
Yeah.
Russell.
Tase!
Chuck Taze.
Yeah. Our religion was founded by Taze.
Taze.
Tase Productions presents a limited number of slots in heaven.
Yeah, it does sound like a small, like a promoter who fills in like a rock
Yeah.
room with some kind of hypnotist comedy show thing. Taze. Taze brings you sexy hypnotism.
You trying to get to heaven?
Good for office parties.
Half full?
Did I have this many buttons up when I went into the room? That's what's happening at this actually.
Sure, that's
To
Taze.
continue.
That's the founder of the Jehovah's
Charles
Witnesses.
Taze Russell. You know, so they're asking Jehovah's Witnesses, how certain are
Yeah.
they? You know what? You know, I feel like no one really ever truly goes to sleep completely certain of their religious beliefs.
Yeah.
I feel like there is always that little whispering like vent that someone carved into their wall there. And you hear the whistling outside of the wind. And you're like, I hear that whistling and I'm not sure I don't think anybody's ever 100%.
That's the
on their
concept
religion.
of am I the asshole? Is God but a delusion? Am I the asshole for devoting my life to his works?
What is it like? You have to put your age on it. Whatever. I don't know why I was trying.
Oh
to
yeah,
riff
I
God's
am
age.
23.
I tried to riff God's age. and then I
Believe
was
in the
like,
Lord and His works.
It wasn't gonna happen for me.
Okay.
God's 58.
He's 58 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
old,
he
enough,
always
old
is.
enough to see stuff, but like he can still get up and downstairs pretty good.
Just got his reading glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs the readers for the interstate. and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's been around the block.
He's an old man.
So how many pissed off?
So people are not
People
mad
are
about
here.
this. People are just answering.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, one person says, "I am 100% sure I'll be resurrected to a beautiful paradise on earth, as per the
Thank
Bible's
you for
promises."
clarifying the stuff I don't know about your faith. Thank you.
It has always been my dream to travel all over the world and see the beautiful beaches, forests, and majestic mountains, and play with the lions and other animals that I currently
can
fear
do
now.
that now.
I treasure this earthly hope, as do millions of us do. And if Adam and Eve had not sinned, they would not. They would have been alive today on Earth, which by now, these are all in caps, would have been a perfect paradise.
Honey.
Is
right.
Jehovah's Witnesses the one where they like say when you go to heaven you're gonna like get a bear?
I haven't heard anybody say that,
I
Jeremy.
don't know.
Did you make that up just now?
I have a friend who is some sort of Jehovah's Witness or something similar like that, and he said that they would tell him all the time, like when you go to heaven, you will get like the newest Xbox and you'll get like a bear.
Oh, sick.
And he was always like, "That's a weird." That was like one of the things that made him realize like this isn't real.
Right, guy. Well, if you're offering stuff that like I could just get with $4,000, I feel like it really pokes holes.
Heaven gets me in cash and prizes about $4 or $5 grand worth of my dreams.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like a Dave and Buster's ticket thing. It's like you can trade it in.
You do okay on Wheel of Fortune. It's like getting to heaven.
Heaven was definitely front loaded and oversold to me as a child.
Yeah.
I would say the joys and pleasures therein. And
Not enough hell.
well, actually, no, not enough hell. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, at least from what I come from, there wasn't a whole lot of a lot of teaching about hell.
You don't want to dwell on hell because
it's
it's demoralizing, I think is what it is.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Like
Also,
it-
it's
yeah.
like the concept of the devil being a guy with a lot of real estate and a lot of mystical power is kind of like not super biblical. It's not backed up by a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like the binary of it all is sort of oral and anecdotal tradition that's
This is
popped
why
up
we
in
should
the West.
talk to him. If we just draw.
If you could
pentagram.
get God, I think you could get God for sure. God is available and does pods.
Yeah, and I feel like he probably has like a simple email that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah,
Where it's
devil
just like
is
God
much-
at gmail.com or something.
We have a
harder to
basic
pin
mixer
down.
set up. How are you suggesting I plug in God?
He speaks for all of us.
You think God is a little do you think he's like a big, is he like Clinton-y, like Biden-y? Is it a lot of like scrunching your shoulders and patting your back? Or is God
I
kind of
think
like
wide shoulders.
wide? Okay, so
Wide, big God, big guy, big God.
And do you think he's got like some kind of like dirty, like 90s leather jacket on, like a
Sure.
brown leather jacket? And he's just like,
Yeah, he's kind of sleazy.
it's kind of, I don't think it's in a sleazy way. I think it's in a well, I've been working in the garage all day. I better throw this jacket on because it looks like it's cold.
Oh, check my elbows. There's patches there.
Yeah.
He's surprised. He's like pretending he doesn't know.
She must have sewn patches on this.
I'm a professor in a way because I have lessons to teach.
My God voice and my devil voice are the same. They're both same.
Wow. And what does that say?
Well, there's all you need to know.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a lesson
Very interesting.
there. Okay. I thought there was a sound, but I was on the wrong board. Moo. Okay.
Here's another answer. Anyone 100% sure of anything only indicates they don't grasp the possibility of their capacity to be wrong. I'm not even 100% sure that I exist. The possibility of me
This
being
answer
part of a
sucks.
simulation or a
We
dream
have
is quite
found
small.
a 16-year-old. This is the thought of a
Yeah.
16-year-old who doesn't have a sleepover to say this stuff out loud.
is logging onto Quora.
Logging onto Quora. And I'm sorry, kid, but you need to go watch Donnie Darko in a basement with some vanilla cokes and do 16-year-old shit.
Let the men talk.
This is Alex's cat Waffles.
Absolutely.
He's on Quora.
I would like to end on one strong Quora of Jeremy's
Okay.
choosing
Oh my
and then
God.
get the heck on out of here.
All right. I don't know if this is a strong one, but the question is,
Bad start.
I've only read the question right now. What's the most badass thing anyone ever did in school?
The most badass thing anyone ever did in school.
I think this is a kind of parenting question.
Why don't we ask
Yeah.
each other that?
Okay.
Real
What's the
quick.
most badass thing you ever did in school,
Baddest thing
Alex?
you ever did in school. Alex?
Most badass thing I ever did in school?
Badass is a tough one.
Yeah.
I can think of like little pranks
I
did.
had detention a lot, but it was mostly for being late. I remember a specific day where, just as a social experiment, I was in band, and there's like too many children in that class for the teacher to really handle in high school, and so she just kind of freaks out all day. And with smelling her weakness, I said, "What would happen if I just curled up on the floor, blocking the doorway until somebody addressed me directly?" And so I did that, kind of like just obstructing the doorway for around a solid like 20 minutes after class started. No one mentioned me or anything. Like they all stepped around me and just kept going. And she was just like, "This is weird. I'm going to ignore it." And like was just directing songs behind me until she was just like, "Get up."
That's an extremely badass story.
Get out of
That's pretty cool. That's badass. I would say that's a 3-star badass out of 5.
I didn't care who walked by me because I was on the ground. And there were no repercussions.
It's pretty fucking cool, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, I had to do it.
Jeremy?
I don't know if I have a badass story.
Did you ever curl up on the ground?
My closest one to yours is remember when Fuck My Life was a big website?
Yes.
And there were all these like stories. There was one person who wrote like a story where they were doing bad on a test, and they wrote like a stick figure, and they wrote, if I don't get 100 on this test, the stick figure gets it, and then like the teacher gave them 100 or something like that. And I tried to replicate this in my French class, but I wasn't good at French, which is why I needed to do it. So I wrote like, if Jeremy doesn't do well on test, he will die. And my teacher thought that my parents were threatening to kill me if I didn't
that's
do well on this
badass.
test. So they sent me to the principal, who called my parents, and they like explained that which a crazy idea, right?
Crazy.
If they thought that I was in trouble.
Did they explain fuckmylife.com to your principal? And they were just like, Jeremy goes on the most alternative website.
No, my teacher literally, so she like
Do you
figured
know
out what was
about
going on.
Homestar Runner, Mr. Principal?
Basically what happened is that my teacher sat there in the principal's office and like was explaining to my principal, like, he just has a very bad sense of humor. And then
He's
she
not
was like,
funny at all.
The principal was like, is anyone trying to kill you? And I was like, not that I know of. And she got so mad at me
Yeah.
that I made a little joke.
Well, that's
Pretty badass.
fucking badass.
They
I'll
have
tell
like
you
an
that.
obligation to follow those. So if you wanted to torture them by following all of the like procedural nonsense,
They
of
gotta
a
call
child
the-
admitted violence
But
potentially at home.
they thought my parents were going to hurt me. So they called my parents and asked.
That's so funny.
It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense at all.
They had no idea
That's
what they were
incredible.
doing. You were so badass back then.
Man, that's so crazy.
Do you have a badass story?
Okay, so one time I was in high school.
Top that.
So I went to this high school, and we had this normal, kindly man coach who was our PE teacher for our like hour of PE.
Okay.
And it's it's just the guys. We have like a guys and girls PE is like split up at my Baptist high school that I went to.
Sure.
And so like it's guys PE, and we have the mean coach subbing for the kind coach. So the mean coach is there, and he's like,
Where's kind coach?
and
They all called it that.
Where is he?
this is when I had just sort of gotten adjusted to this new school. I was a freshman. I'm like making friends, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to be funny guy here. I did stand up at the talent show. People know me now. I can fuck around right now. This is a good moment to do it in front of the
Don't do
guys.
it.
So the mean coach, I was like, oh, kind coach just went to McDonald's. He's getting us all cheeseburgers or something.
Oh, no, he's not.
And mean coach was like pissed off, and he was like,
You're getting a demerit.
we had like a demerit
Oh
system
my
where they
God.
write you a little fake like you're in trouble thing. And
That doesn't sound that bad.
he like laid down the hammer with me, and he embarrassed me in front of all the like dressed me down in front of all the other boys in the class. And I was pissed off about it. Small school, it's like 50 people per class.
Okay.
50 people per class. So, word spread, not a lot of faculty. I'm in biology later in the day, and I am in a bad mood because I got dressed down by the coach, and I'm going into biology in a bad mood. I'm being short with my biology teacher, who's the cool young guy, and he was like, something like he was starting to get enough of it, and he was like, "So, I heard what you said to mean coach, and you're not going to be able to do that in here or something like that," because he could sense that I was still like pissed off or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "So make sure you remember that," and I was like, I'll write it down in my planner.
Oh my goodness. The dry wind
he
coming
just,
out of
like-
James at this age.
He just looked at me like kind of like, you never talk like this in this class. And he was so hurt and disappointed. But I'll put it down in my planner. I told my brothers about that, and they were like, that was awesome. So that is my most badass
That's
moment.
pretty badass.
I'll put it down in my planner.
Do you even have a planner?
I did not use a planner effectively. I missed a lot of deadlines,
Oh my
Yeah.
a
goodness.
lot of incompletes.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah.
Would have been an interesting thing to write in a planner, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk back to my biology
talk
teacher
Don't
biology
sass
teacher.
him.
from now to forever.
Oh, man.
This also reminds me, to the same band teacher, she was like a lonely old woman, and so one day before the prom, I read her a long poem that was a prom proposal while she was like yelling at me to stop for a long time. But yeah, I think that's better than curling up on the ground. Yeah, it was like a whole poem. So it was like, the sun is the east and Marjorie is the earth. My earth, my son.
You wrote her a soliloquy from.
Yo, I got a poem. I got a poem in my back pocket at any given moment. I'm ready to do a poem like that.
So this was this is a girl in high school?
No, this was the teacher of the band class. She was 55 years old. Yeah.
And you were writing her a promposal?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I wanted her to feel included.
Was she hot?
She wasn't really. It was kind of. I was relying on the safety net of us all understanding I was not taking this old woman to prom.
Did she go? Was she like really?
She was flattered and then furious. I was reading a poem out loud in her class for like 2 minutes. It was the back and forth switch was like very tangible.
Yeah. Did you take her to prom?
I did not take her to prom. Goddamn liar.
Not very badass at all then.
That would have been sick. That would have been like a cool.
That would have been
badass. You really want to be badass, you take her to prom.
Yeah, dude. Make her nice.
You love that woman. That's what a real badass does.
She just went through a divorce.
Smoke hemp with her in a parking lot after cosmic bowling.
Yeah, make her feel young.
Smoke hemp every day. All right, what do we got? What do the psychos on Quora have for the school story?
Danny C., whose job is chief operating officer, doesn't say where.
I think our best story was rude. Could they beat that?
This guy, I think, is like saying it like it's the middle of a novel because it starts with the quote, "Are you ready, shit brain?" I stood in front of him, a towering behemoth of muscle. The spitting image of Hercules, a terrifying brute with the wherewithal to snap me in half like a toothpick. "Are you?" I replied, a confident smirk offsetting my face as just one of my deep, dark eyebrows lifted in a clear show of arrogance.
This is just to explain like a thing that happens on here a lot is creative writing exercises.
Yeah.
Just recounting Spider-Man or something.
Yeah, and you hear the way people write, like the prose style of when people do this on Reddit or Quora or wherever it may be, and it's like, when was the last time you read literature? Like, why does it always reads like it's like poorly translated like CW shows from like Russia or something like that. It's like there I was. It's like, why everyone speaks in this YA way?
It's probably literally the last book he read.
The last book was like City of Bones or some supernatural romance in the teen section.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is as young adults, that is when they would be talking like a young adult novel, isn't it?
Wow. So maybe they're trying to get into the head
that may be emerging us in a real situation.
Oh, man.
Steeping us in lore.
Man, yeah. I love this Reddit speak. Like, give me a whole novel of this. Oh wait, I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, this is basically what that is.
Be very careful what you wish for here. Okay.
Jonah, the quarterback on our school football team, had terrorized my friends enough. I was ready. I took care of Matt last time, and then he links to a different Quora answer that I'm not going to.
No, we're not going.
The goal.
And it was Jonah's turn to face my wrath today. He leaned in, wound up, and flung forth with his massive fist, barely missing my jaw, wind swishing by my cheek as I narrowly avoided sure destruction. I lifted my signed Andy Roddick tennis racket. Weird that he brings that up.
Why are you talking like the Wonder Years? You know what I mean?
What a weird specific, dude.
First of all,
he's bragging about his...
Shout out to Andy Roddick.
Yeah, big Andy Roddick fan. And glanced down at it lovingly. She'd stuck with me all this time through tournament after tournament. She could handle this. He's talking about his racket. Yeah. And then I swung. Beep, 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 beep. 7:30. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Contrary to popular belief, my most badass school moment was not the fight with our school bully. To this day, I consider the most badass school moment the day I slept through 4 alarms, only waking up upon my 5th one, which is duly labeled, "Shit, you're late."
So it was a dream?
I leaped out of bed, brushed my teeth, and washed my face, threw on mismatched socks, and blasted out the door.
You cannot.
The 1.5-mile run to school and slipping into
cannot trick me with a dream.
No dream sequence.
Said he did it in 15 minutes total. Yeah, I'm a badass.
That was worse than all of the ones we did.
And then people are writing in the comments, clapping.
No.
No. No clapping.
Yeah, the people are clapping.
No clapping for him.
meet a real person, read
They
a
get the
real
wall.
book. Read, I'm begging you, if you liked that answer. Any of you who replied to this clap, read anything tonight besides Kingdom Hearts fan fiction. I dare you.
And that's not to besmirch Kingdom Hearts fan fiction, which we would love to have more of on the show.
Kingdom Hearts fan fiction?
What if Goofy got Donald pregnant?
That's just what Kingdom Hearts is, it feels like. Kingdom Hearts is fan fiction.
Well, no, the stuff that's not in the games is the fan fiction.
That's true. I can't find any questions that are like shorter than 1,000 words.
Any of the answers, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I think that's all right, buddy. I think we could just close it out.
I told my math teacher that I will bring police because he slapped me. So the story goes like this. It's like, I don't care.
All right, well, that's pretty good, though. That's a crime, kind of.
Yeah, everyone's doing like a novel.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where I'd want to go on and do the plot of something real. It's one of those situations where I used to walk around New York a lot wearing a red hat. And I thought everyone was phony. And I had just gotten kicked out of my last prep school. And
Sure. I was driving around as a taxi driver in the middle of the night in New York.
I find this young girl kind of an inspiration to me.
She needs to be rescued. I've shaved my head into a mohawk.
Yeah, and I killed
there
the guy.
I was dancing on the float in Chicago to the Beatles song.
Should we ask a Quora? Should we call it?
Yeah, let's do a Quora.
Okay.
And then Quora our way on out of here. James, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It was fun.
What inspired you most as a Quora user tonight? What should our question be? And what is your delight? Should we stick with the parenting theme?
I'm gonna do should, if I don't go to church anymore, should I raise my child in my former religion? Should I raise my child with Bible stories from
with Bible stories.
With Bible stories.
You always want like a question that's pretty real, and then the way you adapt it for Quora is to grammatically format it slightly wrong. Yeah. And then people will assume it's authentic and answer it.
I hope we get a lot of ads for like Veggie Tales or something.
Have you seen Veggie Tales?
Me personally, I've not. I've never seen it.
It rocks.
Yeah?
Yep.
I wouldn't know.
Jeremy, let me just tell you, really good stuff over there. Oh, shit. All right. Well, thus concludes another episode of Quorators, the #1 show for Quora.com and you, the user abroad. We thank James again for coming on. James, where can our listeners find you at home?
You can go to @ShrimpJadge on Twitter and Instagram, or you can watch Saturday Night Live on NBC.
Be sure to check out Saturday Night Live and Shrimp Jadge.
Shrimp Jadge, Shrimp J-A-J at Twitter and Instagram.
Catch me in the net. That's a shrimp reference.
I'm going to press stop recording.
Yeah, that's for the
Yeah,
best.
fine. Thank you.